Hey, what's going on, boys? I am back. Try to make it on time today, but you know how it goes. Um, yeah, I am also trying to. I am also just trying to set this up for stream for you guys before I put my face up on the internet. Yeah, so it looks like we do not have. It looks like we got cut off from our data feed, which I low-key was expecting to happen. Low-key. I was kind of expecting it to happen, so it's all good. We'll make it work with what we have. I'm just trying to figure out what to put on the left side of the screen for you guys, because as is, but yeah, hopefully it'll be some type of a day and a good one. If it can be a good one, it'll be amazing. But yeah, but we have to, we have to earn it, right? So we'll do what we can today. Just need to remember a couple of rules that I set for myself, But yeah, but if you're looking at, if you're here, what's up? Shout out to you. I am just trying to, what's the word I'm looking for? I am just trying to, I still am trying to set this up for you guys so that you can, just that it looks a little nice. Sorry, it looks a little nice, innit? I think what we'll do here, let's see what happens if I make this smaller. Okay, looks like this needs to be full screen, so, but yeah, a couple of things changed, as you've probably noticed. What changed? I mean, we're not using, how do they call it? We're not using motorwave anymore. We got cut off. So we will be using Tradeovate primarily, but I don't think that's going to be too much of a problem. I did spend about an hour or so just familiarizing myself with the platform, and yeah, so we'll go about it that way. Myself. Hello? Over there? Oh, thank you. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'm not disappointed about. I'm not disappointed about being cut off. and a little. I really liked what we had going on with Motorwave, but since this is what we have to do and this is how we have to move, we will move like this. So not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. Yeah, look, I think that's gonna be everything for the yeah, I think that's gonna be everything for the top panel, man. I want to say I can't wait to get into the trading day, but I genuinely can. There's no need to rush, right? There's no need to rush, so we will take it. We'll take it as not slow, but I mean we'll you know, we'll trade with a little more discipline than we have the last 3 days. Especially yesterday. I feel like yesterday's day should have gone better, but that one's on me. So just gonna have to hold that. You know what I mean? Just gonna have to hold that. What else would you guys want to see besides the prices of other things that are trading? But yeah, we are just about to open, and we'll switch to a 1 minute. Once we okay, that's New York open. So once we switch to the 1 minute, I'll explain what's going on with my chart and why I put what I put where it is. You get me? So don't you stress, don't you worry. Okay, cool. This is my performance stuff for the day. So I think what we'll do is damn, you guys saw my entire account history. Do need to change that. So let me put this over that. Let's go. Clearly moving at brake light speed. yeah, we'll worry about the aesthetics another time, right? I think let's get into the trading day, man. Otherwise, this day will pass us by, and yeah, we won't have anything to show for it at the end of the day. So, yeah. Oh, come good, thank you. We're 4 minutes into the trading session. Yeah. And in 20 minutes, I have not done any technical analysis for you or myself or anybody who's watching from wherever they're watching in the world. That is unfortunate. I'd hate to be that guy. Camera should be coming on in 3, 2, 1. All right, here we go. Or not. Cool. Don't worry, we'll laugh about this when I'm streaming from a yacht in Monaco. It'll be jokes then. Alright, man. Let's get this trading day started, jeez. Yeah, okay, cool. This is what we're doing account wise, as you can see. So yeah, so as I was saying, I had to switch, man. I had to switch from Motivwave to TraderBait, but it's not that big of a deal. It is a little. I mean, I liked using TraderBait. I liked using Motivwave. Even though we did have some problems with the data from time to time, but it is what it is. It's happened. We move on. Now we just have to make the volume tools that we have work, right? It's nothing more to it. What I will do right now is I'll throw on a volume profile. Which honestly shouldn't be that difficult to do. But okay. We'll throw on a volume profile from overnight. So from 12 o'clock my time. So yeah, it's gonna be from 12 o'clock till 3:30. $15.29. Cool. So these are overnight value. This is our overnight value. All right. Still the same settings, just different. I guess different data provider data feed, but concept is still very much the same. Yeah. Overnight value area low is overlapping with previous week point of control, I think that is. So we won't mark that out. What I will mark out though is I'll mark out the point of control. So yeah, so this is gonna be a point of control. I'll remember it. I don't have to mark it out. I'll remember where it is. And that's our overnight value area high. So same thing. Yeah, maybe I think just for control, man, let's just mark out that overnight value area low as well. So the principles are still, the principles are still the same. You get me? Yeah, so the principles are still the same. We're still doing the same thing. Still taking trades using volume. I'll explain what this little rectangle on the left is and what I have going on the right. You have seen it before, so it's not really that big of a deal. I guess it is, but it's not anything new. You know what I mean? It's the same things, just interpreted in a different way. So, don't be scared. Keep that on the left, save that, and there's this fly. It's just like buzzing around. It's kind of annoying me. Yeah, and And what I'll do is we will hide. We'll hide this little volume profile we have that we just drew out. One thing I will say, I mean, trade rate is alright once you know what you're doing. You know, I guess it's like any other platform, but it is it is important for you to know what you're doing. I don't know where that clunkiness is coming from our OBS or nah, but we fine, man. So we're gonna switch back to the 1 minute, and now we can start working. Yeah, thank you. All right. What we have on the left is the time in sales, and basically the time in sales is gonna let us know when we are at, like, what happens when we get to key levels. Okay, so this should be here. So what happens when we get to a key level, right? I remember on Motive Wave, what we were looking for is we're looking for big buys, and you know what I mean? That's kind of how we were going about it. Look for big buy entries, delta to change, you know what I mean? So same thing, it's just now we're going to be using the time in sales. So as you might have guessed, green means buys, right? So you'll see it will correlate. So what you see on this side should correlate with what you see on this other side, right? We just need to be cognizant of what level is what. And you're gonna need to turn trade mode on. So right now we just rejected previous day value area high. We can confirm that here. All right, so that's previous day value area high. Previous day being the 9th, right? So 594. That's our previous day value area high. We just rejected that. We tested it, rejected that. So we're not inside value. my mom, what a sweet lady, making sure I'm fed, making sure I'm eating something. And yeah, so time and sale. So you see a lot of these type of bars like green, you know what I mean? That's gonna be buys with resultant with resultant resultant effort, you know. And then again, what we're watching is we're just going to be watching the delta, same way we were, just this time it's a lot bigger, you know, but it's the same thing, man. Ain't nothing changed. I mean, yeah, nothing's really changed. This one's overnight value area low, so I was wondering what that was. So that's okay. So I feel like I didn't actually explain what we're doing properly. You know what I mean? My bad on that. I think I was just a little too focused on just making sure everything was fine, right? But yeah, I mean, so it's still pretty much the same setup, right? It just looks just a tiny bit different, you know. But yeah, let's switch to a 15-minute so that you guys can see what's going on. So the concept is still the same, right? We're still working with volume profiles. We're still working with volume, right? Previous day volume, previous week volume, same thing. So, you know, only difference is the platform. Okay, so again, volume profile from Wednesday, volume profile from Thursday, yesterday, and this is today's volume profile, right? Over here. Just looks a little different because now on the left, what we have is we have the time and sales. And the time and sales is giving us real-time orders as they're coming into the market. when we're looking at the big trades, those bubbles, right? It was basically this, right? Just aggregated and made into a visual form that you can identify quickly, right? And the thing that we were trying to spot when we were looking at big trades is we were trying to see we were trying to but we were just trying to identify where these big trades were forming, right? Like, so for example, big trade forming at the bottom of a candle is going to be significant. Why? Because it gives us information, right? If 100 sell orders come in at the bottom of this move, right? Say, looking at, zooming in. It's not how you zoom in, apparently. But yeah, I mean, if you're looking at big buy orders coming in here, right? Big sell orders coming in at the bottom of this candle. You spot a big trade bubble here. Then price moves up, and it tells you that these sellers didn't get rewarded. And depending on the size of them, then that gives you information, right? That's what we were spotting. And how it appears is it'll appear here on the time and sales. It'll appear in real time, right? And give you the size of the trade, and then the highlighted regions, like the green box, the red box. What that's telling us, right, is it's telling us whether these orders, whether these participants, whether they got result or not. So basically, if it's green, it means that these people are placing their orders above the ask. So whatever's being, whatever the price is, there's someone who's like, I'll pay more, right? So the highlighted rectangles are what's essentially moving price, right? So it's either moving price up or it's moving price down, you know? And then we're just combining that with the CVD, you know what I'm saying? Just for a little extra confirmation. Don't really need it, but it's, I think since we started using it, it's a nice little tool to have. But yeah, let's go back to the 1 minute. I just wanted to make sure that I had explained that. I am going to be transparent, man. I mean, I also am still trying to figure out how to get my labels on these lines, right? Without, just having them on the lines, basically. You know what I mean? But I know what is. Okay, so I'm just gonna have to trust me. There's a few things that I still wanna learn how to use, you know. But I also don't wanna complain about not being a come on stream or not being able to trade because my platform changed, you know. I just feel like that's not a, I don't know, I just feel like that's a weak excuse, and it kind of makes it feel like my trading knowledge till today has only been because of, I don't know, because of a platform, you know. And I don't want to be like that, you know what I mean? I don't want to be that type of trader, you know. If I know how to, as long as I understand market mechanics, I should be able to trade is my thing, you know. So but yeah, let's see. I mean, I feel like we could try as we did the other day. A sell stop at 3. maybe to the other side of value. So what I'm going for, we have our developing volume profile, value area high here right now, our point of control here, our VWAP, and then our developing value area low at the bottom, right here. And so where I put my entry is, I put my entry on the on the previous day value area high. Okay. So my thing is, if we can break through this, if we can break below the VWAP, break below this value area low, I think we can sweep these, and if we can get inside value, then target the other side of it, you know. So again, so what I'll be watching is, I'll just be watching the CVD as we get to these levels, you get me? Yeah, I'll just be watching the CVD as we get to the 593s. Basically. And then also over on the left, I will be watching the time in sales, you know. If as we're getting to 595s, if I see a lot of green, I'm not going to be that confident. If I see a lot of green also after we hit our previous day value area high, I won't be too confident about the trade, which is also why I didn't put a lot of size into it, a lot of risk, I mean, you know. So essentially, if we are to break through, I just need a retest of it, and then for it to fall through, you know, or otherwise it'll be the same thing that happened yesterday, you know. But what we're going to be watching is, we're going to be watching the time in sales if price does get there, you know. Yeah, those are the only levels that we really have to trade from today. Yeah, I mean, there's not much. But yeah, it does look like we are picking up on the CVD, and price did move from the 600s to the 604, so yeah. And just watch, like, over on the left, you see you have your CVD over here, green candle, and then watch the same candle over here, right? Like, lots of momentum, but then look at the close, right? And I guess also the candle hasn't closed, so we can't say for sure just yet, but lots of reds also on the tape. And then also another thing that's going to be important when we're looking at the tape, right, is going to be the speed of the tape, right? When we get to these levels, like how quickly do the orders move, right? You get me? Because that's also going to tell us like whether there's acceptance or rejection, you know. Six or threes again. Just watch like for certain numbers, like when we get a 600, that's when I'd expect like a pickup in it, like either, you know, lots of buyers step in and, you know, price moves up really quickly. That, or at 600s, you know, price just falls through, you know what I mean? So and why 600s? Because again, 600 is a psychological level. Right now, the level that's important right now is, there we go. Right now, the level that's important is 604.50, because that's our value area high, right? So there we go, 602.25, 602, 601.75, right? So we're waiting for that 600 to pop up, and then we'll see what happens there. Which then begs the question, if like that's the case, then why don't you just short from 600, right? I think for me it's just more a thing of like confirmation, you know, which some people will say. I've heard other order flow traders say, you know, if because they use order flow, the order flow is the confirmation, they don't need confirmation, right? But I just like to see certain things align. So if price falls below the VWAP, then I'm like, okay, cool, we're good for shorts, you know. Even better if we fall below the VWAP and then retest it. See, now we're in the 500s, 599 buys. If we start seeing like buy orders at like 598, etc., then that 600 is being let go. But see, again, it's been pushed back up. So, but CVD's like falling steeply, you know, which does align with what we've seen so far. There you go, 599.50, 598. You see that? 597.50s couldn't push it up. Okay, and now value area low, 596.25. All right. So what do you do at 596.25? Do buyers step in? Do we start to see more of these green orders, right? At 596.25, or you know, I guess see buyers stepped in there, so. Next important test would be if we can break these highs, you know? If we can break these 605s. But Yeah. $602.50, $602.75. Also, something that I learned recently is that, see, if you see like these orders that don't have that aren't highlighted, right? Basically, like the sell orders are going through, but they're not actually moving price. So the orders that are moving price are the highlighted ones, you know. So if we start to see a lot of greens that aren't highlighted, then, you know. You know, 601s, 600s, 590s. Retest of VWAP once again. Retest of 599. Yeah, that was pretty big. 602s, 26 orders. Something else that I learned from yesterday's trade, right? Because you know we've been charting the ES and then trading on the MES, right? So if you're observant, you would have noticed that we are right now. Yeah, I mean, like right now, what are we looking at? Right now we are. Right now we're charting the right now we're charting on the MES and we're trading on the MES, right? So what did I notice? Well, yesterday, because we had our delta on the ES, the delta on the ES was a totally different thing than what was actually going on. So you know, we had lots of like sell delta, but price was moving up, which was confusing to me because it was like, man, if there's like so much sell aggression, like why does price keep moving higher, you know? And what I did after having emailed Motivewave asking them if maybe there was something that I had set up wrong, And then they pointed that out to me, because I also brought up Tradeovate. I was like, yo, let me know Tradeovate. The delta looks different. Like, why is that? And then they pointed that out to me too. Like, yo, you are kind of looking at delta on the MES. Pretty significant delta shift there. So yeah, man, let's see if we can get this. I think our invalidation point is the other side of this volume profile. There we go. That's the retest of VWAP. Dotted continue. So yeah, I mean, the delta on the MES and the ES, different. And then after like further investigation, because I wanted to learn, I wanted to figure out why. I discovered, for traders trading on the ES, also hedging and options also happen on the ES and ETFs. So, could have been a lot of like orders being dumped. Okay, that's pretty good for us. I don't know if you notice this. Yeah, you see that? Yeah, we'll let this play out. But yeah, I mean, if the delta shifts here, then unfortunately, it would be the end of the trade. Okay, little buy orders coming in here. One second, please. Let's turn the music up. But yeah, let's go. I mean, how deep is our delta now? But here we go. Oh, we're in the trade now. So the only thing, let me turn off the monitor, my bad. Okay, so we got the tap of previous day value area high, which is not the greatest for us. Really wanted it to fall through. But our delta still is negative. Well, not negative as such, but I mean, our delta has fallen, right? So again, and also, point of control, VWAP, test of VWAP is cool. A break of the point of control and VWAP just means that we're going to rotate to the other side of value, which will stop us out, So we're being protected by VWAP, we're being protected by the point of control, also being protected by the 600s, right? Again, 600 psychological level. If we break through the 600s, then, trade idea, trade thesis wrong. You know what I mean? So also watching on the left, just watch the time in sales, right? Okay, here we go. Retest of value area high, value area low, my bad. All right. So that's what, 596.50. Okay, so now we're below 596, right? Okay, so not out of the water yet because we still are in drawdown, all right? But if we can break through that previous day value area low, that previous day value area high, take these lows, right? Now that's also going to be another thing, like how do we react to these lows? How do we react at overnight value, $594 again. That's VWAP again. Time and sales. Just watching the time and sales to see what type of orders come in around that level, right? What's that? 598s, right? Okay. So watching monitoring time and sales, and also monitoring the CVD. You know. $597s again. Our value area low is 596, 596.50. If we can't break below the 600s on this run, then that's gonna be that. Also, our CVD did pick up, so I mean, probably gonna get a stop here. Yeah. Oh, barely just. I actually got really close. I think we're like 2 ticks away. Yeah, literally 2 ticks away. $590s again. Lost the delta. I really expected this to go all the way to the top, but I mean, we are on the other side of VWAP now, so our trade idea is trade idea isn't really valid right now. But yeah, but if we are gonna get the stop, let the market stop us out, right? Because yeah, I am kind of surprised we didn't go all the way, because there was liquidity right there. You know, maybe this is the move. Whoa. Hey, yo, I am playing around. Who said what? Thank you very much. Someone must have said something, because why did price move that way? Not mad at it at all. We got our target. We could have milked a little more, but hey man, we're up, you know what I mean? So yeah, great way to close the day. I'm not even, you know what, I'm not even gonna take another trade after this. I don't know why the market moved that way. I'm just happy we were in the position to get that. It's not my forex. What? Not my forex book. Oh man, what's it called? Hey boss, you know what? Whoever it is, shout out to you. Whoever said whatever they said. Oh man, what's it called? Oh, Forest Factory. Financial juice, there we go. Yeah, because I feel like that was a news event. Financial juice. Trump have agreed to Iran talks, but United States has stated to them in no uncertain terms that ceasefire is over. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Trump. And on that note, I am out. I do not want to I don't want to trade in a day where President Trump is on his phone. Never really works out. I mean, we could have put my stop on the other side of this, but I'm not mad at it, man. I'm not mad at it at all. Yeah, I'm not mad at it at all. I think that's gonna be it from me. I'm gonna lock out now till the end of the trading day. Absolutely lock trading. Let's not overtrade, and yeah, close the day green. Yeah, close the day green. Could have been amazing, but I think that's pretty good. I was targeting what was a logical level, and we do need to get into the habit of just like taking the trades that are like right there, instead of going for these home run trades. There was no this thing that happened is not something that's repeatable. I cannot replicate this, you know what I mean? By replicate, I mean I cannot consistently trade news or hoping that someone's gonna say something about something, you know, for me to get filled on my order, or you know. So yeah, so we just need to be able to take care of like what we can take care of, trade from level to level. Yeah, it's not as, doesn't look as great as like say other people's trades, or you know, in comparison, cool. You know, maybe we're not doing $1,000 days yet, and it's still fine, but it does add up and it does rack up, you know. And also just before this week, you know, I had got into a flow and a rhythm of consistently taking base hits and consistently targeting what was logical, and not taking like really huge losses, you know. So yeah, so maybe I'll go back-to-back days in L's, right? Maybe I have a 4-day losing streak, but if I am to have a 4-day losing streak, that shouldn't wreck me. It shouldn't wreck my account. You know, it shouldn't give me an opportunity. It shouldn't take me out of the game for so long that I don't get another chance to participate, basically. And that's kind of what you risk when you oversize, and you know, when you oversize and your risk is massive, you know. So yeah, I guess like the last 3 trading days kind of taught me that, and I just want to get back to my regular boring type of trading, which is like safe and maybe doesn't make for a lot of clips, right? Maybe it doesn't make for a lot of clips, but hey man, as long as I can come back and trade again, you know, I'm good. But yeah, this was a Trump tweet, man. That's what sent the market spiraling down. The ceasefire is over. The Islamic Republic of Iran has asked us to continue talks. We have agreed to do so, but the United States has stated in no uncertain terms that the ceasefire is over. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump have agreed to Iran talks, but the United States has stated to them in no uncertain terms that ceasefire is over. What does that even mean? In no uncertain terms, the ceasefire is over. So is the ceasefire over or not? Because, or is the fact that the ceasefire is over, is that the uncertainty of the term? Yeah, I also would have dumped everything. I also would have sold everything. But yeah, I will get off stream now. It's an hour and a half. I have a performance tomorrow which I have to get ready for and prepare for, which is exciting. Yeah. 450, I believe. That's the day. When did I start trading? Let's have a look at our overall performance. Yeah, this is kind of what I was talking about, man. Like, can you guys even see this? You should be able to. I'm also pretty sure I need glasses now, but I do not want to. I don't want to commit. Let me zoom this out a little more. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, so just before I get off stream, just to talk about this, I've already locked my account, so I'm not taking another trade today. But yeah, what did I mean about basic? Like, if I set my risk, right? If I set, I lose the account, right? With a $500 risk, right? If for me to blow the account, I need to have a 3-day losing streak. And I've done 3-day losing streaks. I've gone 4 days, back to back. You lose on Monday, you lose on Tuesday, you lose on Wednesday, you lose on Thursday. Which is also why, before we started with this firm, which is also why I was trading off 2 accounts, right? So even if I do go on a run, if I do go on a streak, on a losing streak, those losses don't compound on one account. So if I lose on Monday, I lose on account 1. If I lose on Tuesday, I lose on account 2. So each of those are down 300, right? If I come back on Wednesday and I lose on Wednesday, that's on account 1. If I lose on Thursday, that's on account 2. If I come back on Friday and I lose again, that's on account 1. Now, in total, I'm down 600 on one account and I'm down 400 on another account. Right? I lied. I'm down 900 on one account and then I'm down 600 on the other account. But I haven't blown any of the accounts, right? And for me to go on a 5-day losing streak, not that it's impossible, right? But then there's certain things that I put as measures to prevent me from doing that. So for one, the rotation is one thing, right? From stopping you from blowing the accounts, right? But then also just like rules. So you get your base hit, cool. Maybe like your target is a little further away from, your logical target is more TP, more take profit on the day, right? Still, even if you're targeting that, you set your stops, not just stops, you set your targets, right? Your trails, and it's like, okay, look, either way, even if I'm trying to get the logical target to 750, I'm still gonna take 300. I'm not gonna let the trade come back and break me even when I've already got my base hit. So it's cool. So you just go for the base hit. You get to the base hit. If the trade still has a way to go, fine. Then you can put your trailing stop there, and then you can let it play out. However, then you start securing a little more, right? And the reason why you start securing a little more is for the days when you do go on streaks. Right? There's no one who trades who is perfect. There's no one who trades who just like wins every day. It's unrealistic. It's unrealistic. Anyone who says they have a 90-something% win streak is a liar. It's statistically, it just doesn't exist. You can't do that. On paper, it seems like something that's on paper, because it's numbers and it's maths. It's like, oh yeah, why can't I decide why can't I decide a direction correct every day, right? And it's like, yeah, you can do it consistently, right? But there are going to be trade-offs. For you to have like a really high win streak, it also means that like your risk to reward is going to be smaller. So if you're going like 1-to-1, so my risk is $100, I'm getting $100. Yeah, then sure, like your win rate is going to be higher because that's going to be a lot easier to do, right? That's going to be a lot easier to do. If you're going at 2-to-1, then that becomes less. If you're going at 3-to-1, that becomes even less. So, you hear people say like, 7-to-1 risk to reward, and they have like a 85-89% win rate. It just doesn't happen that often. It just doesn't happen, and if it did, then surely people who've gone to school for this, people who trade as a profession, people who are investors by profession. I'm talking about people who've studied, who've done like 8 years of school just to understand financial markets and financial mechanics, and then also people who've been doing this for 20 plus years, right? And there are like really successful traders there, but even when they talk about like their trading performances, no one comes out and says I have a 90% win streak or I have a 100% win streak. It's just not a thing. But just to like kind of go through the trading data, right? Like of all the trades that I've taken up this week, I've taken 9 trades. Of those 9 trades, 6 were winning trades, right? But like my total profit is 872, but my losing trades are 1.2. and I only have 3 losing trades. Which again goes with that thing that I was talking about with risk, right? With just capping my risk somewhere. It's like, okay, look, I'm gonna risk this much, and that's that on that. You know what I mean? That's that on that. If I'm uncomfortable with it, then I'd rather size down or not enter the trade at all, because where my stop has to go, because where my stop has to go is a lot deeper, and would mean that I get into a lot more drawdown. You know what I mean? So it's that. So it's just kind of like just something that I was thinking about last night. Also, after having gone and emailed Motivewave and had a conversation with them and asked questions about the data feed that I was getting, about Rhythmic and comparing Rhythmic and the TraderVate data feed. I think it's CDQ. And then doing study, and then like going over studies on the MES and the ES, and understanding why like delta could be different, and why is it that on the ES the delta's going in one way, but then on the MES the delta's going in an opposite direction. And after having like learned all of these things, then I just asked myself a simple question. I was like, okay, still either way, even if I was charting on say the MES yesterday, with the way that my nervous disposition was positioned, would I still have taken that base hit? Would I still have gone, this is enough, this is clearly not going to go further? Would I still have taken what I was going to take from that? You know what I mean? And the answer to that question was no, I wasn't. I wasn't, because I wasn't thinking the same way that I have been over the last, how many weeks now? 6 weeks of 6 weeks of consistently coming online, recording all of my trades, journaling all of my trades, talking through all of my trades, figuring things out, learning also as I'm doing, using certain indicators, not using those indicators, finding things to replace them, all of that, and all of the psychological stuff that I was like working on as well. With all of that, you know what I mean? Am I going to then give it all back by not allowing myself to be patient enough to let the process run, right? Like, cool, we come in, we risk this much amount of money. We're either right or wrong. If we're right, we win this much amount of money. We come back tomorrow, same thing. We do that, we get off stream. I had a 6-hour stream on one day, and then I had a 3-hour stream the following day. And it's not just the resources that you're managing also at the same time is not just managing or protecting, right? The resources are not just the trades, right? It's not just the money in the trade. The resource you're also managing and protecting is your time. It's also your psyche, right? Your mental capital, right? Like, how refreshed are you when you wake up in the morning? How tired are you before you go to bed? Because this also requires a lot of attention. Because you can think about something and it's like it's happened already. Like yesterday, at some point, it hit me that like, I actually should have got out at the previous day value area high. But then it had already reversed, and there was nothing I could do about it. Is also not entirely true. I could have got out of the trade at that point, but 6-hour stream, 3-hour stream, and then also that thinking of, I want to take everything, I want to take everything. So I am also trying to be as transparent as possible. I'm not trying to sell anybody anything. I'm putting my trading performance online for me as well. So over the weekends or at the end of the month, I can go back and I can review these trades. I'm journaling these trades so that I can go back and review these trades, right? And so that I can find like the mistakes, the small things that are kind of maybe like hindering my performance, or the things that I've just kind of started picking up as habits because maybe I had an $800 day and now I feel like every day is going to be like that, So that's why I record my trades. That's why I'm journaling my trades, and also that's why I'm being transparent about it. When it works out, it'll work out, but if there's ever a stat to go by, it's just like if there ever stats to go by, it's this week's stats, right? Again, 6 out of 9 trades won, but then I still am in drawdown. That shouldn't be a thing. That shouldn't be a thing. And it's because of, largest winning trade 450, largest losing trade 600. My average losing trade is 420. My average winning trade is 145. I already know when I do my trade review and my trade journals this week, I already know what this is gonna look like in my weekly reports. Max ran up 450, max drawdown 1.1. So yeah, it is gonna go up. I will put this up on Substack and I'll put it up on Twitter. And we'll just go by it like bit by bit, man, and we'll figure out we'll get better over time. We'll get better. But yeah, these first 2 trades were 375, 375, 375. This was me really I was just trying to figure out how to place my trades on TradingView. And and then I got my first winning trade. And then see on the same day, look at that, that's like 5 trades, right? In the same day, 16, 48, 55, cool. Maybe let's not count these. But the 5 o'clock trade, which is 11 EST, that was a genuine attempt. And then I got my winning trade, should have walked away. And then instead, what I did is I then came back to try and finish the move because I believed that this was getting to the 600s. And I just wanted that extra $100, I guess, to call it a base hit, right? But whereas this was like a perfectly good day, this was like 238, and so I got in and I took that trade. Funded next day, servers went off for some reason, and whilst I was still in this trade, so that registered as a losing trade, but they did rectify it, which is why my account is where it is. And then what happened the next day? Look at that, 6-star trade. That's all I'm saying. And I was in stream, I was in stream this entire time. Still close it red, right? And then 3-hour trade the day after, right? I won that, but even if you go back and you watch this video, you will see that on this day, right? I think I was 50 something bucks away from the account being blown, and then price came back, and I just trailed my stop and took it, and then yesterday, that's when I enforced, after that day, then I enforced my daily loss limit. And even after enforcing my daily loss limit, this is a day where this negative 500 was positive 500, and I didn't take it, and price came all the way back, so it's the small things, it's just they seemingly small, but once you stack them up, and when you stop paying attention to them, then they just kind of like they build up, and then they hinder your performance and they pull you back. So I don't want to do that, I don't want to do that, which is also why I locked myself out of the account today. I don't want to be involved in any other trade. My thesis already played out, even though we almost got stopped out, right? Which wasn't a structural thing, right? I just happened to place my stop at the right level, and that worked out for us today. So we'll take that. I'll get off stream now, and I'll see you guys on Monday. Get some rest. Try to not look at charts unless you're back testing. But get some rest. I hope you earned your weekend. And that's gonna be it from me, right? That's gonna be it from me. We're gonna run it like this from now on, so don't be too confused by it. Just make sure that I save all of this before I get off stream. do this on stream? Maybe not. All right, I'll do this off stream, but I'll catch you next week, Monday, same time, 9:30 EST. We don't have the trade bubbles. We don't have big trades. We don't have overnight high low close. But I'll figure it out over the weekend how to maybe get the overnight high low close stuff back on. But yeah. But yeah, that's gonna be it from me. And this is our. Just so we have this on stream. This is our day today. So one trade 450. I think that's 450 after commissions. Yeah. Oh no. So 440, which is fine. Yeah. Not that long of a trade, 11 minutes. So I'm pretty happy with that. So we'll call it a day, and I will catch you guys on stream next week, 9:30, 9:15 EST. Catch you on Monday. Yeah.